Derryl is a proficient investor. He buys homes, flips homes, sells homes. He is a home builder. He builds duplexes. And I'm excited to watch that journey as well. It's funny. I started off as a mentor. Now I'm the mentee. Okay. They say that's how this thing goes. The student, the teacher then becomes the student. And that's why
the Law Live with Hamilton and Childs Real Estate Planning Law Firm. With more than 25 years of experience in real estate, foreclosure prevention, probate law, and estate planning, such as wills, trusts, and transfer deeds, we decided that in 2023, we will take action to help families build legacies greater than the next 3 generations. We understand that one day we will become the ancestor, so we are taking the necessary actions to help families. Here, we share legal tools to share your heirlooms and regain ownership of our land. We will discuss wins, losses, learn how to hold on to our land, buy more land, pay taxes, and promote life insurance. Someone is saying, I wish I would have known that sooner. But if you can hear my voice, the time is now. If you are ready to ensure your legacy, your child's legacy, and future generations, like, share, follow, comment, and don't be afraid to schedule a consultation with your favorite real estate and estate planning attorneys. All links are in our bio. Hey, who you gonna trust?
Good evening, LaTrice Martin here with Hamilton and Childs Law. I am so grateful to have the opportunity today to interview my friend and my client, Derryl Bohanna. We know that trusts are so critical for us because the rate in which we lose our property. So for African Americans, they're critical, right? But we know that most of the time when people hear the word trust, they think that it's going to cost so much money. They don't realize that, first of all, if you leave with nothing, if you leave this earth with nothing and you have assets, then your assets are going to be frozen. And that's a whole nother story. If you leave a will, then it has to go before probate. And you know, with us, we're always fighting. So that could be a mess. But the trust is what's going to protect us even further. It's our best method. I was kind of pondering on what I see when I sneak peek into the past is back in the 50s and the 60s, our ancestors were buying property, land, okay, at the miles. I mean, they owned land, lots of land, and they left this earth owning that land. Now, many of them did not leave instructions, which is why this trust thing is so prevalent. We got to talk about it because they didn't leave the instructions. And so because of that, a lot of us lost the land, right? And we're rebuilding. That's what we are now. We're rebuilding and we know better. And so people like you and I, we know that we need to put these instructions down in this instrument. But my question for you today, if you can help me out, this is bothering me. In this era of influence, okay? My first question is, who was influencing us in the 50s and 60s, right? When so many African Americans were purchasing property. And I'm not talking about just, you know, getting a loan, because we weren't afforded loans at the time, right? So we had to purchase land, purchase these homes, and pay them off. At that time, there's so many African Americans were purchasing property, owning the property, like they were putting everything. They had to be putting everything in owning land. What's your take on that?
Well, we have to go back further than 50s.
Of course, yeah.
So what we have to look at is that our people tend to try to cut American history. And, and they forget to we got to go back from the beginning. Our people came here as slaves, right? And they worked on these fields, they worked in these cotton fields, they worked on the sugar plants. They did all of this stuff, for their slave master. And what they were longing for was independence, right? So, but before we was able to get laws on the trees, you have to understand that they actually, when Blacks was free through the Emancipation Proclamation, right? They figured out they didn't have any assets, that old term, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's what the master would tell them, right?
That's
Well,
right.
when they walked away, they realized we don't have any resources, we don't have any assets, we don't have anything.
Wow.
They just kicked us off the plantation. So they turned around and went back to the master and say, hey, we want to offer our services through form of payment.
Gotcha. Border system.
Right.
Border system.
Right. That's where minimum wage came from.
Wow.
So once they started doing that, then it was like, okay, hey, how about I work for you for another X amount of years to buy this piece of land?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good stuff.
Right. So some of that was happening. So what motivated them? They saw land as a place where they can raise their family in peace. Start giving African American families home loans.
Okay.
Because they different from today. They were like, oh, these people actually pay on time.
Wow.
They're not going. Yeah, because once again, they like, wait a minute, I can get this piece of property and I can keep my family right here.
Wow.
Right. So that's what they were about. You know, in that era, they just wanted something to secure them somewhere where their family can live and be secure and have that piece of that American dream that they family saw from the cotton field, from the sugar factory, you know, and all those places. Now they feel like they have ownership of some that they were excluded from before.
Absolutely.
Right. Right.
Absolutely.
Economic exclusion. So they was excluded. We was excluded from before. Now they have the opportunity to buy it. And they were like, no, let me get it. Let me get it. Every opportunity. You know, I'm going to work my fingers to the bone to make sure we get this property.
Tell you, but that humility is something else.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. When people put us out, then there is a posture of coming together.
Correct.
And that's definitely something that we've lost. Right. Over the time, you know, that the humility in that, you know, and so now we've lost that, the ability to unify.
Correct.
And ownership, the ones who do own and that are not renting, speaking more about ownership, owning a home, buying a home, right? And when I say buying it, paying it off, a system in which we pay it off,
right?
And keeping the home, which we know for us, and I'm not talking about just them, but for your legacy, keeping that home within your family. And you know, we go into history in the Bible days, like that was important that we didn't start over every generation.
Right.
Us, like even right now, we're rebuilding because we either lost so much or we did not have it. For us, it was we lost a lot. Right. And so what do you think? Where do you think the disconnect is with the influence in our community? Like we are so big on labels and not on land. We're not talking about the land, right? So what do you think the disconnect is with that?
Well, so going back from our grandparents, then our parents, they pretty much took their parents' mindset, like, hey, I want a place to stay. I want a place to raise my family comfortably, right? Because you got to think about it. That's something that she paid off. She can call her own. It's tangible. It's in her hands. Like, wait,
I ain't mad at her.
Right. She said, I worked my life for this, and now it's mine.
I thank you so much, my brother, my friend. And we just got to do a better job. I'm definitely going to be promoting MoneyLand on our page, on our YouTube, everywhere. Okay. And so we got to get the word out. Like I said, I'm gonna call you because I want to give you something that I think that you should do with that MoneyLand. Oh God, it was in my spirit when you were talking, and I think it would go very well. And so I'm gonna call you about that. But other than that, thank you, brother. Thank you. And I will talk to you very, very soon.
Appreciate you. God bless you.
Hey, LaTrice Martin here. Join me every Thursday as I interview some of the most knowledgeable experts in the industry as we discuss estate planning. I cannot wait to bring all of this information to you. I want you locked and loaded. Go tell your friends and your friends' friends. Talk to you soon.
Hi, thanks for joining us on What's the Law Live. This is my segment, Lead with the Law. I'm attorney Kay Hamilton, and I'm happy to have you with us.
Hey, Kay.
Hey.
Okay, well, I am so excited to join you on your segment with Lead with the Law. I had a very interesting conversation today with one of our clients, Derryl Bohanna, and we spoke a lot about our history. And so today on Lead with the Law, I have 2 questions for you that I know our audience wants to know, because I get these questions all the time. Number 1, what is probate? And number 2, when did probate become a statute to U.S. law? Can you help me with that?
Right. Probate is a legal process by which the court determines that a person is deceased. The court oversees the payment of all debts on the estate, and they oversee the distribution of all assets to the beneficiaries.
Probate means that someone has to hire an attorney, okay? And they have to go before court so that the court can basically determine, number 1, like you said, the person is recognized as someone has passed away. There are assets, there are debts that need to be paid, and then they're going to make sure those debts are paid first, and then make sure the heirs are then distributed the remaining of those assets.
Correct. Okay. Probate has practically been the law since the founding of America, right? Initially, it was on a state-by-state basis, and then Congress passed the statute in the late 1790s.
Is everybody subject to probate?
Everybody who doesn't have an alternative means of distributing their asset is subject to probate. If you have a bank account, then you can already determine you can tell the bank who you want the money in the bank to go to.
Okay.
Right. If you have an insurance policy, then you can already say, these are my beneficiaries.
Yes, absolutely.
If you have real property, then you can do a transfer of death deed to already have that property going to somebody. You can do a trust in which you pretty much cover everything.
Got you. So, because we want our audience to know, or we want them to find ways, of course, to avoid probate and secure their property and secure our land, because as I spoke about on my segment earlier today, a lot of us lose our property because we don't know that probate is a law that we must abide by number 1, gaining a trust, creating a trust, by number 2, having beneficiaries on our bank accounts, our insurance policies, things of that nature, because all of those things stand alone as legal instruments.
Correct.
I think we said it all. Thank y'all. Have a good day.
Thank you again
Bye-bye.
for joining What's the Law Live with Hamilton and Childs Law, the real estate planning law firm. Remember to subscribe, like, follow, comment, and share our content so that we may help more families build inheritance. Also, if you need personal assistance with your real estate or estate planning probate matter, please visit our website at www.law-hc.com and schedule a consultation with your favorite real estate or estate planning attorneys. As always, who you gonna trust?